All right, hello. This is video number 2 for the pizza dough handling practices and how-tos. I'm going to show you right now the different behaviors of the pizza dough that I make and sell, depending on how long you take it out of the freezer, how long before you cook and you take it out of the freezer. So here we have some dough that we took out 6 hours before we're going to use it. Some dough that we took out 5 hours before. Dough that we took out 4 hours before. And lastly, dough that we took out only 3 hours before. I had a little basket here of flour that we dipped it in and coated it. So 6 hours is the maximum time that I suggest taking it out, so we'll see how that goes. And 3 hours is kind of the minimum, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll start with the 6 hours and we'll be back in a minute. All right, here is the 6 hour. This is done live. I haven't manipulated these in any way, so we'll see how good, bad it is. So the first thing I noted is that a skin did develop over this pizza dough. So the skin is going to tear a little bit. It's certainly tried to raise or expand. So my attempts to have the flour put on it did not prevent this skin forming. So as I'm stretching the pizza dough, you'll see that that skin is tearing. So not ideal. Don't want that skin if we can help it. So every time I come to a wet spot, I'm just putting some flour on it so that. So once you get the middle stretched out, and you can see the window panes there, see straight through that pizza. You stretch it out in the middle as far as it can go. So now you're just rotating it, and then you're doing little ant fingers all the way around the edge, stretching out any thick section of dough. There's some videos that have you pushing on the dough. If you have really strong dough, that's probably fine. This is not terribly strong dough because it is 100% naturally leavened. There's no chemical yeast leaveners, and the flour is not the 00 14% flour, right? This is probably 11%, if that. So this is pizza. I'm probably not going to get much more stretch out of this until it tears, but I'll keep looking for a section here to stretch. So yeah, there's one round. I am pushing on it here because I am trying to prevent it from going back into its form. Whenever you get a little section in the middle that's strong, thick, you can just grab that one section. So there's that. Here's the 5 hour option. So again, 5 hour option has it has a bad skin on it. So I'm just slowly breaking the skin apart. I just gently crack sections. It's like cracking. So as it starts separating and gets wet sections come, I just dab a little bit of flour on it. And again, I'm pulling out from the center. So that the center is fully stretched out to the maximum that it can go. Now that the middle is stretched out, I see my window panes. I just start doing the edges, rotating it along. This dough is staying together really well though, even though there are that cracking. So there's a pizza round, fully stretched out, ready to go. Okay, this is the 4-hour one. A little bit of a skin, but again, fully defrosted. Definitely not as bad. Okay, there's my window pane. Now that I have the window pane, I just start doing the finger work on the sides. Okay, almost done. It's a nice pizza round. Okay, a little bit of the crust forming, not as bad though. Okay, here's the 3-hour one. No skin. I am getting some of the loose flour off. Fully defrosted. Nice and pliable. So these pizza rounds had about a 4 to 5 hour ferment out, and then they were in the freezer freezing before they fully froze. They were also fermenting, so, and then on the counter here. So you probably have a good 9 to 10 hour ferment on these pizza rounds. This dough is made with only 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. The type of water, type of salt, type of flour, all that matters. The starter is made of flour and water, which is why I did not mention it. So the ingredients are still the same. This is a dark rye pizza dough with a little bit of whole wheat. So this one is stretching in a particular way that's not fully round, but you kind of have to do with what the dough allows you to do. It's still somewhat oval. So this is turning out really nice. No skin at 3 hours. Anything less than 3 hours, and you're going to have dough probably frozen. If you take it out an hour before, definitely frozen. 2 hours before, it'd probably be mostly frozen. 3 hours seems to be about optimal. This dough is very cold to the touch, so the middle here feels incredibly cold, but it's still defrosted. So, and there you go. I would, one suggestion is, while we did cover it in flour, flour may not have been enough. Once you cover flour, you can put some saran wrap, maybe the same saran wrap that it came in, back over it to cover it and keep the air off of it. Why do these skins or crust form? They form because of air. Air gets on the dough, and that's what causes them to be created. So if you can keep air off of it, you will keep those crusts from forming. Thank you much. Bye-bye.